Matt James finally sent Queen Victoria home and tried to take charge of the drama in the house. We're breaking down what Bachelor Nation thought of week 5. Hey guys, welcome to another shared news from home. We had a very eventful episode this week, and of course, Bachelor Nation has the best takes on everything that happened. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I'm joined by the incredible Gabby Ganta and Avery Grooms. You guys, people have had some stuff to say, so let's just dive right into these tweets. First up, I think probably the thing that I was thinking all night long, Melissa tweeted, "Another week, another time, me saying these girls are mean. They are scary. Some of these ladies actually stress me out. I would not want to be in that house. Truly shocking."
Lucy tweeted, "I'm very upset that MJ with the great hair has turned toxic. Such a disappointment. She was very promising night one when she came out of the limo with a big box of pizza. Like, she seemed like good vibes, great things all around, and it's kind of turned, for the worse. She's definitely different than I thought she was on night one, but we'll see where it goes."
Hannah said, "The irony of the mean girls being the ones saying there's no toxic environment in the house is just wild." I know, what a funny coincidence. It's literally always the ones who are talking about drama are the ones bringing the most drama. It's funny how that works out.
Tasha tweeted, "Everyone acting lost now, especially Anna. You knew what you were doing." I have to say, I agree with Tasha. I think a lot of these girls immediately knew they had something to apologize for, which means they knew they were doing something wrong and they chose to anyways. A lot of people were caught tonight.
Megan said, "Immediately I felt horrible for it. I can't. The lies. This is agonizing." It's tough, someone, whenever they do something wrong, it's always worse when you get caught. Like, that's the reason you're sorry. But, hopefully these girls can learn from it, watching this back and realizing, how they hurt people. So hopefully they're going to grow from it.
Danielle said, "Justice for Brittany." I know, that was just so unfair how her whole situation played out. She didn't even really get to make a name for herself until other people made up this whole story about her, which is such a shame. But I think it worked out kind of in her favor because she was the bigger person and handled the situation so well. And so did Matt, equally as well, his response. So the bad guys ended up leaving at the end of the day. So she kind of got some of her justice, I think.
Julianne tweeted the shirt Jan meme and shared every apology on The Bachelor. And I have to say, I think this sums it up perfectly. Did not feel a lot of genuine vibes going around tonight.
Brooke tweeted, "Peter could never. We stand a guy that won't encourage the drama." That's very true. I haven't compared Matt to Peter yet, but it makes sense. Peter was kind of just like in the dark a little bit and kept wanting to pursue the connection, so he kept the drama going, and Matt is now here to just clean house.
Victoria apologizing is funnier than those baggy eyes. Wow. It kind of is, I'm going to say. I didn't want to point out her baggy eyes, but she clearly the stress was showing on her face, or she had a sty or pink eye, but I've seen it happen a couple times now. And I know everyone else has, but her apologizing was just comedy because of how ungenuine it was and just fake, and her trying so hard last minute. But typical Victoria for you.
All right, Mads tweeted, "Victoria can't be real. She can't be." I have to say, there were moments where I was just like, I don't even know if this should be airing. Like, nobody behaves this way. I'm worried about her. What was going through her head? Like, honestly, it crossed the line of entertaining drama to sometimes I was just stressed for Victoria throughout this process.
This user said, "Oh, Matt, outing Katie was not a smooth move there." That's very true. It's tough when you're throwing names around because then people have targets on their back and then new feuds begin to start. So it's rough, but at least people are getting to the truth and the core of it to try to figure out what's going on and squash the drama and hate and all of that.
Bachelor Nation terrified for Katie's life after he told Victoria what she said about the house. I know, I was really scared for at a moment too, but it's hard, like you said, in those situations not to out someone. And Matt's not thinking like that. He's just trying to shut down the drama, period. But if that was to come back to Katie, that just kind of leads the path on who's are the people starting drama if they're actually going to go back to confront Katie about outing them. So it goes both ways, but I'm glad she did it so we could just get rid of them.
Nick Vial tweeted, in fairness to Victoria, she would have crushed it on toddlers and tiaras. Hot take. I'm loving all of his commentary all season long. Such a Bachelor Nation celeb. I don't know how she would have done on toddlers and tiara. I really don't know that any competition with a bunch of women, even if they're toddlers, would work for Victoria. Who knows? Maybe he's onto something.
Colton tweeted, Katie watching all of this unfold. Very true. I think what Katie pulled Matt aside to talk about last week sort of definitely started all of this. So she's kind of in the corner watching it all happen, but it ended up being for the best in the end.
Morgan said, plot twist, Matt cleans house tonight and is left with like 5 girls. I mean, the way he was going, I was like, let's keep him coming. MJ next. Like, just get all the bad guys out of here, clean sweep. But he did a good job, and it kind of worked out in his favor how they just conveniently got into some drama, and he was kind of done with them anyway, and they ended up leaving, so.
DB tweeted, yes, Matt, give Brittany and Ryan the first roses. It's what the women deserve. I totally agree with DB. I thought that was such a clear signal to them and to the other women that, like, if you talk, I'm going to listen. I'm going to validate you. Matt really, really has been 10 out of 10 throughout this whole process.
Gabby tweeted, but why was that the most hilarious exit? Thanks for the best drama, Victoria. It's true. When she was leaving her interview, they just kept cutting back to the crazy things she was saying next because it was so much. Normally we get like a few sound bites here, like I'm sad, and then she's in the car, and then like that's it, and she's crying. With Victoria, we got a whole monologue, which is, not out of character for her.
Alicia said, I'm never dating another Matt. All the Matts. Thank God. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny, once again, coming from Victoria, because it's like, I don't think he was ever into you to begin with. She's over here saying he lost so much. I think we're all thinking otherwise, but classic Victoria being in character,
All right, Jess said, bye, Victoria. You're not the queen anymore. Listen. Something is telling me that she is still calling herself Queen Victoria out there. I don't think the queen thing is going to rest anytime soon, but I do hope she's reflecting. I hope the queen is growing and evolving. I'll say that much.
Amber tweeted, Rachel is having a pretty woman / Cinderella moment right now, and she's the luckiest girl ever. I was thinking this exact thing. She was truly pampered and spoiled. Like, that is my ideal date. So if I'm ever on The Bachelor, like, that's the one I would want. Certainly not the farming date, but yeah. The girls were right to be very jealous of Rachel in this episode.
Ellie said, just now realizing that every girl who got a shopping spree or gifted clothes ends up being the final pick. Becca, Hannah Ann, and now Rachel.
Oh.
That is a great point. And like you said, Gabby, that is like the best date. So maybe they save it for like the best contestant in their eyes. I don't know, but regardless if the date went well or bad, I'd be so happy to be on that because you're leaving with a bunch of clothes that are really expensive. So it's kind of a win still at the end of the day, regardless. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dana tweeted, he did not just give her Louboutins. I literally, as if the whole date wasn't amazing, he pulled out that box and I was like, oh my goodness. Imagine, I don't remember who it was. The date was amazing. The connection was strong, but somebody had to like ride ATVs through the mud. Imagine riding ATVs through the mud and then seeing someone else come home with 16 shopping bags and designer shoes. I would be so jealous. She like wins the ultimate date forever.
The Bachelor's got a hefty budget though, so. Here's one of my tweets via shared news on Twitter. I said, making Rachel open her gift and bags in front of the other girls is seriously savage. So I feel like this is definitely a producer moment to get the other girls talking, get them, heated, because just look at this. It's so insane. But Rachel was beaming and, she deserved that one-on-one and having a great connection with Matt. So for more fun tweets like this, you can follow us at Shared News because we also live tweet every episode each week.
Maddie B said, Kit over Katie for the one-on-one. These were also my exact thoughts because Kit also was kind of villainized at a point. She was kind of one of the bad girls, but then I feel like they almost tried to like save her with some of the edits and now this. So I don't know. We haven't seen so much with a lot of people. I haven't really seen much of Kit and Matt until this one-on-one date, but I definitely thought Katie was going to have one probably before Kit.
Arena tweeted, how did him and Rachel fall in love? We haven't witnessed that. I have to say, I felt like fall in love was a little fast. We've seen them have great conversations, gaze into each other's eyes longingly. Like they've had a lot of really, really great moments. But yeah, I guess if you know, you know. They really dove right in on this date.
The Crossover Podcast tweeted, this is Kit's Paradise audition. Okay, so maybe she's not here for Matt and maybe she just wants to date other guys in Paradise, but she did have a lot of tears. We've only seen bits and pieces from Kit here and there, but lots of tears coming out before her one-on-one date and during. So
Bachelor Fanatic tweeted, starting a Give Abigail More Screen Time petition. Who is with me? I for sure am. She got the first impression rose. We saw her get a rose tonight, but up until maybe this episode, we really have not seen a lot of her like we did from the start. So I hope we get more of her in the near future. Love the girl.
Housewives on the Hudson tweeted, I feel like Matt just kisses everyone because he runs out of things to say. Oh, poor Matt. He cannot catch a break with his kissing on Twitter with the eyes open and the timing. He just can't win. I do have to say, not to rag on him, but sometimes I do think the kisses kind of come out of nowhere when there's an awkward pause, but I've been chalking it up to editing, trying to give the guy a break. Who knows?
Nicole said, Matt is giving me Grimace vibes in this fuzzy sweater tonight. Oh my goodness. He has had pretty good fashion though. He said specifically he's trying to like dress good for Kit, but overall I feel like I like his style. I didn't notice Grimace vibes, but maybe so.
Angie said, damn, Piper and Matt, that kiss was hot. Yes, it really was. And it was long and it was kind of random and unexpected. I loved it. And I cannot wait till they're one-on-one next week.
All right, Alexandria tweeted, do these women realize it's all on camera, right? You can't deny it when it's black and white. I have to say, I was so happy when the denying started that somebody could just say, roll the tape, because you can't behave this way and then just blatantly lie. And I think that will be, if anything, the lesson some of these people take away is like, you have to be accountable.
Brett tweeted, heck yeah, Abigail, you get that rose. She's definitely one of our favorites, and we love screen time with Abigail. We love when she opens up and then gets a rose, so we're going to see more for next week.
Emily said, yes, finally, Tyler C. and Heather, let's go. Well, I am equally as excited about Tyler C. I don't know. I'm just scared for Heather. I'm scared for the girls. We all know that situation is going to be messy.
And last but not least, this Twitter user tweeted, my question is, why is Justina the only one who said something about MJ? Did the other girls not hear what she said? This kind of stood out to me as well. I think that MJ has made quite a few little comments from time to time and been sort of a part of the hurricane surrounding the house from time to time throughout all this. So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. I have a feeling they're going to start making these cuts a little more ruthless. They're going to start, coming up with 2-on-1s, coming up with ways to get people out of here, because this is a big group of women. He's going to find someone pretty soon. So very, very interesting to see how this will all play out. All right, you guys, on that note, we want to know what you thought of this week's episode. What were you thinking when all of the drama went down? Are you happy to have no more Victoria, no more Anna moving forward? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell, because we will be covering all things Matt James all season long. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Gabby Gonta and Avery Grooms. If you want to come say hi, all of our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.